Welcome to JAPD. Subscribe, follow, like and comment to all our publications on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. Watch and give us feedback.
In computer, in Modbus communication, Modbus RTU.
Daddy, Mommy's still calling me.
Okay, I'm coming. Give me 5 minutes.
Holding the phone.
Okay. And also the 16 primordial sign of IFA, the Meiji, Ogbe, Eiji Ogbe, Oyeku Meiji, Hirosun Meiji, Ose, Oturupon, Meiji, all of that is embedded into what we call the hexadecimal code. So they basically plagiarize and copy IFA. They change the double stroke into the 0 and the single stroke into the 1, and that's it. And even computer scientists, PhD, have done the research, and they have proven, and they are in agreement with us, that the knowledge, our ancestral knowledge, is embedded into computer science today. So
Absolutely.
there is no electronic in the world today that is not using our ancestral information. So when we talk about telecommunication and we talk about internet, we should be the one mastering that knowledge. And this is why we're doing the work that we do, in order to trigger something in us, to trigger the what we call innovation, invention. We can wait for that trigger to manifest, and it's gonna happen anyway, because we have all the capability. We have the linguistic. The brothers speak perfectly Yoruba. They understand perfectly, better than anybody else, the verses, the instruction, the telecommunication, the keyword, and the knowledge. We possess them. So we just have to find that trigger. The trigger is what we're looking for, and once we get the trigger, it's going to change the whole perception, and we're gonna regain the position we have always been into, which is invention, innovation. So IFA is basically proving that our ancestor master a communication. Eshu is the messenger, and they master the binary, a principle of nature. Everything in nature is codified into a binary system, and they have codified the principle and the energy that surround the universe. They codify those energy, and they have the names of more than 400 orishas, which we have shown and proven again that the orishas are a form of energy. We have shown the energy aspect of the orisha. So it's not just so the ancestor is beyond spirituality. So Ifa is beyond spirituality. So sometimes people think about a religion or a spirituality because we don't have the word to express it, but it's pure science, it's pure knowledge system based on observation, based on codification, based on nature. So
Yes.
it's true science, because science is the study of nature. So when we say science, people always think that, the Westerner are doing science, and we in Africa, we're doing magic or spirituality. No, we are doing science. Our ancestors were practicing science. It is the study of nature, understanding how nature works, understanding the energy of nature, and things like that. So when it comes to telecommunication and internet, we have to continue the work that we're doing. We have to continue searching, and ultimately we're gonna find the trigger. The trigger is what we're looking for. So, and then once we have that, it's going to change the whole perception. Thank you, brother.
Thank you for gracing us with your presence and blessing us with your amazing wealth of wisdom. So what you just said about issue, and we've been talking about it because I created a slide about this one as well. So basically, issue, as you said, it governs communication. And Eshu doesn't only govern communication between the Orisha and the ancestors, it also governs, even, as you said, the Ifa and Eshu is embedded within every telecommunications product. any telecommunication product in the world and devices. You understand? So yeah, what you call Muzungu on your platform, we call them Ajoji on here, which means foreigners.
Ajoji. Okay.
Ajoji,
Ajoji.
which
Ajoji.
means
Okay.
which means strangers or foreigners. Basically, they understood the importance of Eshu, because even all the Orishas and the Irumoles, they needed Eshu. It's like Eshu was the glue between even the Rumales and the Orishas. Oh, she was the glue, because he smoothed the communication between them. He maintained balance by governing the concept of truth and justice as well. So you understand. So issue is not only important between human and ancestor, or human and Orisha and Rumale communication, because it's the person who takes the sacrifices to the Irumales, to the Orisha. You know, when people make sacrifices, the person who actually takes it to them, who communicates it to them, is actually Eshu as well. But he doesn't only do that, he is also a glue between the Orisha and the Irumales, even amongst themselves, amongst all those forces. He is also the master of communication. He governs that. So then with the Ajoji, the Muzungu, they knew that when they came here to study us, which is why they demonized Eshu and they mislabel Eshu as the Satan from the Bible. So some of the work that we're doing is to enlighten people, is to let them know that no, that was a miscommunication, that was a misdirection. It was basically propaganda campaign that they put down in order to demonize the most important Irumole in the whole Yoruba cosmology. And his value and his presence and his importance in the world is quite significant. Hence why they had to label him in order to turn our backs away from something which actually serves as our primordial protector. You know, so some of the what issue governs communication with Orisha and ancestors, crossroads of life, choices and opportunities, justice, retribution and rewards, because he has to set the balance when somebody is done committed an injustice. He has to bring justice into the world through the process of karma, through the process of punishment as well. With trickery is like the issue is known to be, you know, a jovial or light character. He's not like it's not like Shango that are more fierce. Issue is more malleable. You understand? He's somebody who uses trickery, jokes, and things like that to test people, you know, with wit and wisdom. The flow of Ashe in the universe is carried. You see what you said about communication there. When we say Iwure, which is called affirmation, and we say Ashe, we're invoking the spirit of, we're affirming it, we're making it real. And Eshu is the person who takes the Ashe the same way he takes when the Babalawo, the Yanifa, Tobati Rubo, when they make the sacrifices that they make or the offering to the spirits, Eshu is the one who actually takes it to them as well. So if they turn our backs from Eshu, and we need our ancestor to come down and answer a question or to respond to a query, if we don't honor Eshu and do the things that then do right by him, then ebo wow nifin. That means our sacrifices will not be accepted. So they knew that. This is why they demonized Eshu. Eshu Olalu, La Roye. So yeah. So so basically what we've just gone there, we've literally gone from Orinu, we've gone into Atunwa, we've now landed in an issue. That's because the information we're sharing is the truth. Lies and truth cannot coexist. Which is why those guys that came up earlier, they were Muslims, they were Yoruba people, they claimed they were Yoruba people, but obviously anyone who behaves anyone who behaves in a way that doesn't enrich our land, that puts us at a disadvantage, that you're fighting Yoruba people that are trying to free and enlighten Yoruba people, then you cannot be from us. We need to go check your DNA, because you're working against yourself. Maybe you're not a full Yoruba person. Maybe that's a Fulani person, that's masquerading as a Yoruba, cosplaying a Yoruba person. So some people don't get it, but eventually they will. But we've got a task to enlighten our people, to let our people rediscover the information that was once lost. And I thought, Portolo, I wanted to honor you because you played an important part in that. In my journey of understanding as well, you played an important part in that. I can only thank you for it. So, yeah, I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for your presence. Thanks for coming up, and thanks for the amazing work that you do. You know, you are loved and highly respected. Okay. Ẹ má bínú pé Gẹ̀ẹ́sì fẹ́ pọ̀ jù lénìí o, torí bọ̀bọ̀ tó lò yẹn is a very knowledgeable person. Òun ó dẹ̀ kọ́ wa is like a teacher or master teacher for people like myself as well. Èmi náà ti kọ́ ẹ̀kọ́ lọ́dọ̀ ẹ̀ gan. Kò dẹ̀ ṣe Nàìjíríà, but òun research or is like a scientist. So òun ti mọ̀ kíní from a scientific perspective ni. Ó máa ń lo, you know, ó mọ̀ pé bí kò ń ṣe Nàìjíríà nìyẹn, ó mọ̀ pé Ifá is real torí pé òun ti study ẹ̀, àwọn nǹkan tó dẹ̀ máa ń gbé kalẹ̀, ó máa ń jọmọ́ fá, àwọn babaláwo máa ń wá sórí platform ẹ̀ nígbà míì, ó tún máa ń confirm, ó tún máa ń confirm nǹkan tó ń sọ, ó tún máa ń validate nǹkan tó ń sọ, ṣó ti yé yín. Pronunciation ẹ̀ ó tún lè worse ju tèmi lọ, ẹ̀mẹ́kẹ́mi náà ṣe ń ṣe Yorùbá class ni, but nǹkan tó ń sọ òótọ́ ni, ó dẹ̀ make sense. What I was just saying there, Potolo, is that a lot of the work, you're not a Yoruba person, obviously, but a lot of the work you're doing are valid. And even Babalawos have been on your platform, which I've witnessed myself, that they've actually validated a lot of the work you're doing to saying you are actually on the right path. So we have to acknowledge you and we have to support the work that you're doing as well. So I would urge everyone to go and follow Potolo Bams. He brings a lot of wealth of knowledge to the table. So follow it. So people go and follow Potolo Bams right now. You know, I would greatly appreciate that. Okay. It's coming to a time where we're gonna have to start winding down and rounding up. But then any question, if everyone has any question, please feel free to come up. Baba me the observer, I appreciate you. But Beshima comment section, yeah, Joe, you know, Mama Luki Leko come by me. Abọ́rò àbọ̀yè ìyá wa makeover tí kì í makeover ẹ̀jẹ̀.
Ó gba tọ́ bàbá mi. The question tí mi fẹ́ béèrè ni pé last time tí mo wá sí class ní last mo aṣọ ìgbà ilẹ̀ fi sọ̀rọ̀ nípa orí inú and tí a fi ṣe class yẹn níjọ́ yẹn. Mo gba tí ẹ fẹ́ ṣe eléyìí tí a fi ṣe tẹ́ fi ṣe ti ẹ̀wọ̀n àtúnwá ààbò ìwà mi present níbẹ̀ ó dẹ̀ dùn mí gan.
Okay. Mother's Day ni Sunday.
Yes.
Every day then Mother's Day nílẹ̀ ọmọ aládé.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
So bá a sọ pé ṣé ká ṣe àtúnwá ká tún focus lórí ẹ̀ lọ.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni ẹ ká sọ lórí àtúnwá sí.
Okay. Ṣé ká ṣe lọ́la ìyá wa?
Time tẹ máa ń ṣe yẹn ó máa jẹ́ time oorun mo ti máa sùn.
Mo lè sọ bàbá wa tamátàsé náà àwọn náà sọ pé àwọn máa láìka ṣe àtúnwá lórí platform wọn bóyá lórí platform ní ọ̀la kí lẹ wí mà.
bóyá lórí platform atamátàsé lọ́la ká fi ṣe ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ I think that will be fine so that àwọn tí wọn kì í lè dúró ní time tí àwọn wà ní Nàìjíríà UK time yìí a máa lè wà ní ojú àárọ̀ gbà yẹn.
Okay. Màá bá bàbá mi àtàmátàsé sọ mo ṣọ́ kan máa agree pẹ̀lú yẹn torí àwọn náà ti mention ẹ̀ rí pé àwọn náà like káwá tún àtúnwá ẹ̀ ṣe lórí platform tiwọn torí àwọn náà ní nǹkan táwọn sọ pé àwọn náà fẹ́ add sí so ẹ̀mọ̀ kéèyàn tó máa tí wájọ́ kéèyàn lọ fà gan so okay màá take yẹn as my homework màá bá bàbá wa àtàmátàsé sọ àdé ẹ̀ ṣe mo ṣọ́ kan máa fún wa lórí ẹ̀fẹ́ yẹn.
Okay ẹ ṣe.
Okay, ṣeun ìyá wa. Bàbá mi orí the observer. Àbárò àbọ̀yè sà.
Bọ̀yè gbogbo lé o.
Bàbá mi orí the observer á kí ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò kí ló tí ẹ fẹ́ gòkè látẹ̀kan ẹ kàn rọra dúró sí yàrá kejì.
Irọ́ ibi náà mo wà àmọ́ táwọn ọ̀gá mi bá ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ àkọ́ra wa comment section ni. Kákọ́ máa.
Àti wà nínú yàrá lókè mi báyìí náà kára wà ń bẹ̀.
Ẹ wà pẹ̀lú wa.
Irọ́.
Ẹ wà pẹ̀lú wa bàbá mi.
Ọba ayọ̀ bí làkàyè díẹ̀díẹ̀ làwọn ará ní kára máa bá yín àdé comment section.
Ẹ ṣeun.
Ẹ lè wà lórí òkè bí kẹ máa há díẹ̀.
Kò burú.
Ẹ bá wa àdé bíbá ẹ jọ ẹ ṣeun.
Ẹ ṣe.
Professor Potolo, greetings bro.
Okay, ẹ bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀.
Greetings, Ori the Observer. Greetings, brother.
Thank you. I sent you a message just to clarify the Ashiri stuff. So
Okay.
you can check your message. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, brother. I'm learning every day. So I'm a student also.
We're all students.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, Potolo, I'm not sure if you heard that, but basically, our mother, TK Makeover, she was suggesting that we revisit Atunwa, and she wasn't on the live, when this was first brought on. But so she was saying it would be pleasant for us to revisit it. But rather than doing it now when it's getting quite late, I was suggesting we do it on another platform, Atamata Safe platform, which is where we do morning affirmations now. So that's where we're going to do it. Once the program kicks off, I'll post the link on the Telegram platform for others who would like to attend, in case you would like to attend as well.
Okay, sure. I will, depending on the time of the day, and if I'm at work, it's going to be difficult. But yeah, I will definitely keep an eye on the link. Thank you, brother.
Okay. We'll do that. Ẹ ṣeun. So bàbá wa Orí the Observer, ẹ jọ̀ọ́, ẹ̀yin náà ẹ bá wa tan ìmọ́lẹ̀ ọgbọ́n sí nǹkan tá a ti sọ lénìí. What have you taken from it? Are there anything you would like to correct? Anything you would like to add from your perspective?
To be honest, gbogbo ẹ̀ náà láti sọ èyí tí mo lè contribute náà ni mo ti sọ ní comment section yẹn. But nǹkan tí mo kàn fẹ́ kẹ́tù gbìyànjú fún wa is okay, what I'll do is I can send the on documents kan. But it's like people don't understand the concept of iku. Shenget. Iku ati eru. It's a very, very, very deep topic. That way, I think that might bring attention because talk about tea is still understanding because tea, I mean by iku is an illusion, it's like a blanket. They won't understand why this Atunwa reincarnation is very important, because the sooner you realize that you existed before time, you came from somewhere. Your journey does not finish here, and you are not your body. Once people have that small enlightenment, the thing is, when people don't just observe certain things, when you close your mind and close your mouth and say things, that person that says what you said in your mind is who you truly are. Mm-hmm. So the sooner people realize that they are not their body, and this indoctrination they've given us, Lati Bere, as we identify as our body, as our mind, it's even deep. You're not even your mind. You are not your body. So who then are you?
You're not.
So it means you are an energy force. You are an energy force. No, share to get. So sooner people, and all these things are in science. Science is suffering. Energy can neither be created nor destroyed. So once people start seeing themselves as this energy force, then maybe it makes it a lot easier to then pass the knowledge. But Tabati, our slides is perfect. I emphasize the role to fear play in religion.
Absolutely. Very important. Very important. But only nǹkan tí mo ṣe, ó dà pàná là ń ṣe live yẹn lọ́wọ́. Mo ń try láti explain nǹkan tẹ́ sọ yẹn, pé your body is not you. Ẹ mọ̀ kékeré yẹn relate mọ́ Àtúnwá, pé tá bá tún wá náà, ẹ mọ̀ kékeré èèyàn kan bá lọ, tágbà kan àbí ìyá kan, yèyé kan bá lọ, tó bá padà wá, wọ́n máa ń padà wá as a baby náà ni. So it's important káwọn èèyàn mọ̀ pé when we go to the ancestral realm, we leave the body here. We don't take the body with us. But our spirit. Yeah,
okay, carry on.
Yeah, my dadro. Tebari, I just use it as an example. So basically, what this concept was trying to convey is that if you take person A with the name Tunde, that person comprises of an Ikwari, of an Orinu, and Oriode, which is the body, the suit, the flesh that we're using as our bodysuit on this planet. That person actually has a unique identifier within the universe. So if you take a person A with the name Tunde, the unique identification for this person across heaven and earth is S00154. That could be that's a Mori reference number. This ORI 003867. That's his Ori no reference number. And that person is now, the owner of this body, BOD 77731, for instance, just as an example. So that's how Tabati Lodafa bí Ifá ṣe máa identify wa. Tí Ifá ṣe máa ń pe òkè ìpọ̀nrí èèyàn sílẹ̀ àti orí inú tó bá fẹ́ ké pe orí inú ṣó ti yé yín bó ṣe máa ń lè gbélẹ̀ nìyẹn torí kí gbogbo wa la ní odù. Gbogbo wa ló ní odù tá a bá wá. Gbogbo wa la ní, genetically and spiritually, we can all be identified, which is why when Babalawo, when you go to a Babalawo and they want to perform certain divinations and they call on your Ikmori and Orinu, obviously there's billions of Ikmori in the world, in the universe. How are they going to know which one is yours? That means there has to be a unique identifier for you, your Orinu and your Oriode. Some of the things that Babalawo does in Ifa, when you go and consult them, is they try to establish a connection. So this is your Oriode, this is your Orinu, this is your Ikmori. They try to identify, to establish this connection, and they couldn't do that successfully if there was no way of identifying within all the universe of Orinu and Ikmori. How are they going to know which one is yours? So that means there has to be a reference code. Just like our DNA has a unique reference which they can use to identify person A from person B. But what I was really trying to explain in the concept of Atunwa is, in Ifa, our Babalawo, they have a way of identifying if somebody is a returnee. For instance, let's say that somebody was born into a family and that person passed away. When the baby was born, when they're given birth into that family again, and the parents go to consult Ifa, in the process, in the divination process, they can also, the Babalawo will be able to identify, oh, is it Tunde that's actually returned? How are they going to know that? Obviously, the person don't take the body with them. This body is gone now because when that person passed away, they didn't take his body with them. But when they return with a new body, so there's a new reference code. But how is Babalawo going to know when it's performing the divination for that child that that person is a returnee? How are they going to know? It's because the soul, which is your Ikmori and your Orinu, they have reference numbers.
Sorry, let me just interject you for a minute, please.
Yeah, go ahead.
Now, back to Ebiteti Soipe come in a new body. There are some very, very extreme cases, not even extreme. They come in the same body. You see literal scars. And why they give them those scars is not to be bad. They give them those scars so that when they come back to life, so those scars are forms of one identification, and and some of the scars are also a way to it's just a means to get those children to stay here.
Absolutely.
So you would literally see those scars. Literally, you see those scars. So I just quit. Make a in chipping here for me.
More agree, but 100%. So those what we call tribal marks today. I think the point that my brother was making there is that what we call tribal marks today, in some cases, are also put there to identify or return a child that's actually returning. And also that's one of the uses of that, those lacerations that we see on some bodies. Not all lacerations apply in this case, but obviously some of it serve those purposes as well. And he's also saying when a child is an abiku, sometimes those marks discourages them from returning when they come back again. Abiku in the Yoruba cosmology is basically children that basically when they come into the world, they come on a temporary basis. They want to return early, and obviously that brings sadness into a family. So what they do is when they do the Esentaye for that child, which is some of the divinations that they do when a new child come into the world, they identify them early, and they've got some you could say some processes of making that child stay, and so that child can exist in this world for a long period rather than that child just coming in and going early. So basically what I was trying to explain there is that there has to be a unique reference for every Ikmori. There has to be a unique reference for every Orinu. So that further tells us that we don't die. When we pass away into the ancestral realm, The reason we are able to come back is because our spirit is everlasting. So we don't die like that. We may among power in Yoruba spirituality, they say among power. That means we change our costume. We change our body. We don't actually die as a spirit because, as my brother said there, the spirit is everlasting. The spirit is eternal. So when Christians try to say, oh, yeah, come in the way of Christ, the way of eternal life. No, they can't give you something you already own. Something that's already there. They can't possibly give you something that's already yours. So that's part of the deceit. In Christianity, if you die in Christ, give your soul to Christ so that you can attain eternal life. No. Eternal life. I hope this simple formula, I hope it makes sense. So basically, when that person B returns and that person comes in a new body, because when somebody dies as an adult, right, and they come back as a new baby, you can't tell me that they're coming back on the with that same, clearly that's not the same bodysuit that they're wearing. You understand? But obviously, if somebody dies as a baby, they may be able to come back as a baby with the new same suit. But I think it would be logical if we're saying an adult who passed away, lived into their 90s, passed away, came back as a baby. Clearly, it can't be the same bodysuit all the time. So that person B, the Babalawo, through that IFA divination, would be able to identify them that, oh, it's this person that's returning. That's why in Yoruba, we actually, in IFA, in Yoruba cosmology, we actually have a process of identifying those people through their naming as well. So if you look at a name, like Babatunji, that means the father as is now awoken, is returned. Babatunde, that means the father who passed away, who went to the ancestral realm, is returned. Yetunde is the female version of that. That means our mother has returned. You understand? When it comes to Abiku, like those children who only came for a short term, they just want to come and experience the world on a very short, limited basis, and they want to go back. But once they've been identified, after the parents consult the Babalawo and they do the entire formula, they will identify that, oh, this person is an Abiku. So once they've done what they needed to do, maybe they had to make divinations to that person's Ori Inu. They have to make sometimes they may need to make divinations to that person's Ikmori or that person's Egbe. You understand? And that sacrifice or that veneration, divination, if it's accepted that, okay, you've appeased us, you've appealed to us that you would like this child to remain here, then if it's been accepted by the Rumale, by the Orisha, by the Egbe or Ori Inu or Iponri, whichever that works, such children are then given names like Duro Jaye. That means stay in this world and enjoy life on this earth. You understand? Malomo means don't leave us again. Kashimawo, that means, okay, let's see whether this child is going to stay. On this occasion, let's see if it's going to stay for a longer period. Kosoko, Duro Timi, that means please stay with me. Duro Dola, Kulola, Durotimi. There are various names within the Yoruba culture that's attributed to children who fall under these categories. You understand? Once they've been identified. And which is why what people call a naming ceremony today, in the olden days, it wasn't just a naming ceremony. It's not just about, okay, we've had a newborn in the family, everyone can come and eat food, eat jollof rice, sing and dance, and then go back home. That was not the essence of those traditions. You understand? The essence of those traditions is actually the divination, but unfortunately, because of the misdirection that those religions have inflicted on us, the essence of that ceremony is now being lost. Now they've just turned into parties. No, but the essence of actually identifying that child's divination, that child's destiny, what they call Ayomo and Ikmi in the Yoruba cosmology, instead of identifying it so that you are going to know which which Orisha lineage that child is governing is governing the path of that child. Instead of using that as an opportunity to align that child's Ori Inu with Oriode and Ekonri, you understand? Something that most people don't even do in their adult age. You understand? But unfortunately, the substance in that ceremony that we perform has been lost. Now, what they call naming ceremony is just people just rejoicing that there's a new child, there's a new birth in the family. But I hope through these kind of programs and other programs that other people are doing, we can remind ourselves that there are things in our culture that we've neglected. And those things are valuable things. We can start to rediscover those things, retracing our steps and make corrections, because these things empower us. You understand? Those practices empower us. Go ahead, Priscilla.
Exactly, man. I agree with everything that has been said on the Atunua. And it's very deep, brother. It's very deep. And sometimes I don't even have the words. I don't even know where to start, to explain. But when we talk about Atunua, a good way to perceive and to maybe help to explain what Atunwa is to place the IFA sign within the four cardinal point, right? If you follow the diagram of Isheshe, you have Ogbe in the east, you have Odi in the north, you have Oyeku in the west, you have Awori in the south, and you're gonna see the fourth stage or the cycle of conception at the level of in the south with Ivory conception, the spark that is going to generate the fusion between the sperm and the egg, belong to that region. And you're gonna have birth, the rising sun, or a baby coming to the world through the east with the sign Ogbe, and that area is governed by Eshu. We can associate the Orisha that belong to specific cardinal orientation. And in the north you have maturity, Odi, and in the west you have Oyeku, which is death, but the death is not the death in the Western paradigm. The death there is just a separation of the body and the soul, and a new phase. Oyeku is the beginning of Awori, is a new phase that is going to kickstart. The same way before we as human today on earth, we came from somewhere and we had to separate from whatever form we were into in order to be who we are today. So it is a cycle. So the ancestors are showing us through the diagram that it is a cycle. So Atunwa is the cycle, the fourth stage, and the cycle that we see in the Isheshe symbol when you follow those different signs. And another thing that I wanted to add is the aspect of a human being can be reduced to a wave, right? The brain is proven by science, and I have shown the sources on that, that they are in agreement with what African science and African spirituality has been saying for thousands of years. Consciousness energy energy cannot be destroyed. So consciousness energy is a wave. And the brain itself is composed of atoms. The atoms is composed of particles, and there is a duality between particles and wave. So the brain can be reduced to a wave, and that's why when someone even passes away, there is a brain wave signal that is still active after the person is pronounced dead. But the brain, there is a brain activity. The brain is communicating and sending perfectly, and even science today, they are in agreement with African spirituality. But we knew that. But if you go back 100 years ago or 200 years ago, what was known in Ifa, in Isheshe, was we were told that it was witchcraft, sorcery, magic. But science is becoming more and more in agreement with what Isheshe and Ifa is saying. So they are really the one that are behind, and they are trying to catch up with the knowledge of our ancestor. But they are doing that in a very not sincere way, because they are insulting and they are depicting our knowledge as primitive and sorcery, witchcraft. At the same time, they are using the knowledge they are insulting in order to innovate, to invent, to create, and to open the door to innovation and invention. So even quantum physics and quantum mechanics is in agreement with what what is said in Isheshe when it comes to the Atunwa teleportation, quantum entanglement. We see that in the Iponri. The Iponri says that the Iponri is our higher self, our mirror image that reside in Orun. That right there is basically confirming everything quantum entanglement is talking about. Quantum entanglement is basically when two particles two particle state are tied together. They depend from each other. And the Iponri shows that our consciousness, our true self in Orun is basically projected. We are a projection of our true higher self. So death does not exist. Death is an illusion. So it's just a separation from the body, and life goes on. It continues on and on and on and on. It does not stop, because if it stopped, then the purpose of creation would not make any sense. So Atunwa is something real. The ancestors are right on point, and even science is becoming more and more in agreement with the concept of Atunwa.
Absolutely. Thank you, Brother Patolo, for your amazing wealth of knowledge. It may amaze, I'm sure people are gobsmacked, like you're not even Yoruba and you know about all these things at a very, very deep level. That's because you've done your work, you've done your research, you've gone into the rabbit hole, and you're actually bringing out a lot of information that even some of us Yoruba people, we just, we're learning. We are all students, but a lot of people might be really shocked and surprised by how much you know. So that's a testament to your amazing wealth of knowledge as well. And humility to actually go out of, to go out and do that research. So I just want to thank you for your presence and your amazing work. So on that note, so Atunwa tabati de ori program Atamátàsé lọ́la, àwa taba wà around usually would be tabati parí ìwúre àti ìtanijí. Then okay, màá wá sọ fún bàbá wa Atamátàsé pé tó bá lè jẹ́ ká gbé àwọn náà ti bí mi rí ọ nípa àwọn máa like láti kí n káwá tó wá sọ ọ̀rọ̀ Àtúnwá yìí lórí platform. So hopefully tomorrow will be the right time for that, so that Àtúnwá lè ṣe wá ní ìwúlò. That wà lè kọ́ ẹ̀kọ́ nínú ẹ̀ṣọ́ ti yẹn ẹ̀mọ̀ kẹta wá tún gbé síwájú àwọn bàbá wa, wọ́n á tún wá gbé wá from an IFA perspective. They'll be able to add more from an IFA perspective. Tún wá update document with even more IFA references. Tó bá jẹ́ ọmọ tún wá fún wa ní àwọn ẹsẹ̀ ẹ̀fà kan tó tún máa wá key fún wa, tún wá reference ẹ̀ nínú document yìí kó tún wá jẹ́ kí information yẹn kẹnu sí. So hopefully we can even enhance what we know already when we present this, hopefully tomorrow, with in the presence of many Babalawos. I'm sure they'll be able to add to it. They're going to bring out some Ifa, some Odu Ifa that says something specific about that process of Atunwa. So that would only enhance what we know already. And if there's anything that I put down that's not accurate, they'll let me know and I'll make the corrections where it should be, so that the information would be even much more precise and even much more enhanced, the next time around that we congregate to talk about this. So ẹ ṣeun gbogbo ẹ̀yin èèyàn, mo ṣe bá Júnilọ́, mo ṣe bá ẹ̀yin àgbà, mo ṣe bá gbogbo ẹ̀yin aṣíwájú, mo ṣe bá ẹ̀yin ìyá wa lórí ìkànnì, mo ṣe bá ẹ̀yin yèyé. So láti máa palẹ̀ mọ́ níbi tá a wà yìí. So ẹ ṣeun, ẹ kú pẹ̀lú wa, ẹ kú fọmọ ènìyàn ṣe. Thank you very much to everyone for the likes. Thanks for all the contributors. Potolo Bams, thank you. You are loved and highly appreciated. Baba mi Adelumen, ẹ kú pẹ̀lú wa ní gbogbo ìgbà. ẹ ṣeun pẹ̀lú contribution yìí. Ìyá wa TK Makeover, thanks for coming up. Thanks for your wonderful contributions as usual. Ẹ ṣeun gan, àṣebá adúní lọ o. Bàbá mi orí the observer, mo sure pé bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe wá pop, bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe pop.
If I may add quickly
Ṣe
a
pop
few.
Jerry lálẹ́ yìí. Hey, go ahead.
Yeah, so I was reading this morning, and I think we read before on Amotekun. Correct my pronunciation, Amotekun or
That's close
Ekun.
enough. Go ahead.
Voila, or Ekun, the association with the leopard. The leopard, plays also an important role into the reincarnation or the Abiku process. And in Yoruba knowledge system, the coming back and reincarnation also go through Amotekun or Ekun, which is the leopard, meaning that it is a journey. The journey, because what you have on the screen, you had something on the screen earlier explaining Atunwa, the journey, right? The journey of the soul. The journey of the soul to be reincarnated in the realm of the ancestor. So the Amotekun or Ekun, which is the leopard skin, is a symbol. It symbolizes the platform and the universe, because the leopard skin is seen just like it's the universe at night. When you look at the leopard skin, you have the impression that you are looking at the sky at night. The dark spot on the leopard skin are depicting the constellation, the star system, and in the center of each dark spot you have a dot at the center. It looks like an eye, so there is so much knowledge into Ekun or Amotekun when it comes to the Atunwa. They are all linked, they are all connected. That reincarnation process, and the leopard, the skin of Amotekun here depicts the universe, where the soul is going to journey in the universe in order to be reincarnated into the realm of Orun. So that's one aspect I wanted to throw in, to trigger the brothers maybe to look into it for tomorrow. The aspect of Amotekun, what is the role and the role that plays Amotekun in the Atunwa, something like that. Yeah. So thank you, brother.
That's not an area that I've actually explored myself. But thanks for mentioning that, Potolo. When we get in the midst of Anwa Agbagba, our elders, I'll make sure to raise that question. Let me actually create a new slide for that. Let me see what they're able to share with us from an IFA perspective.
While you are doing that, brother, I truly want to salute you on the engagement of putting your information into slides. You're gonna see the result within 2 years. You're gonna just do a control find keywords, and you're gonna land on amazing connection. You're gonna connect the dot on a lot of things. So this is the way to go. I want to salute you and encourage you to keep doing that. Put the information down, make notes in the same PDF, in the same PowerPoint or PDF or Word document, whatever you want to create. It's going to help you find information quicker and faster based on the topic being discussed. So, I'm just so excited to see you doing this. It's going to be really productive, and you're going to see the result, and we are already seeing the result. So, I just want to salute you on that, and, keep up the good work. And thank you, everyone. You have a wonderful night. May the ancestor, through our Ori, continue to enlighten us through our consciousness, and to bring us, wisdom and knowledge, so we can continue on improving our way of life and growing and elevating our level of consciousness. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Brother Potolo. Thank you. So on that note, I think we should end. That would be a perfect way to end it. So I share Idumare. So Baba mi ori, ṣe ní nǹkan tẹ́ fẹ́ add sí ká tó lọ. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe wá pop cherry yín, ẹ mọ̀ pé ẹ ti wá raise standard yín sí nìyẹn. Nígbà fún yín kẹ́ máa hide sínú comment section mọ́. Ẹ̀yin gan ẹ wà lókè ẹ mọ̀ pé ìyá mi tí kẹ́ make over all witness kìíní yẹn. Bàbá mi Adélumin all witness bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe wá sókè ìsìn àti mọ̀kẹ́ mọ̀ ṣe. So next time ẹ jọ ẹ máa wà pẹ̀lú wa lórí stage. Please, any final words, Baba mi?
Ẹ ṣeun púpọ̀, ẹ̀yin náà máa kí. Thank you very much. Káwọn olùmọ̀lẹ́ tún máa kí yín lẹ́yìn lórí ẹ̀. Gbogbo àwọn ìmọ̀, àwọn enlightenment yẹn kó túbọ̀ máa pọ̀ sí fún yín. Ẹ ṣeun púpọ̀.
Àṣẹ.
Àwa ṣe ń kọ́ gbogbo àwọn kíní ìníṣóyè bàbá mi, so káàṣà máa tọ̀ yín lẹ́yìn.
Gbogbo wa là ń kọ́ students ní gbogbo wa ẹ rí pé nǹkan tí mo tún kọ́ ẹ̀ mo tún take note mo tún mú homework lọlé mo tún mú homework lọlé so àwọn questions máa bi àwọn bàbá mi àwọn awo wa lọ́la nìyẹn tá a bá ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ àtúnwá yẹn so ó máa wà very very tẹ́ bá lè join wa nínú yẹn náà máa appreciate it sir.
Yeah, most def ó kọ́ ẹ pé àwọn nǹkan yẹn púpọ̀ ní wa máa ti ń ó ti gbára kọjá rí àmọ́ a kì í tẹ́tí sí fún àpẹẹrẹ sí àwọn fákan wà tó lè ti kìdí ti ẹlòmíì ó lè jẹ́ ifá yẹn sọ̀rọ̀ bó ṣe dá òṣùpá àwọn fáàmì wà tó máa sọ̀rọ̀ bó ṣe dá iná tẹ́lòmíì kan máa gbọ́ sétí ṣẹ́ngẹ̀t so nínú àwọn ohun ṣe tó bẹ́ẹ̀ náà àwọn nǹkan pọ̀ nù fágan tẹ́ pé àwọn èèyàn ò ní àkíyèsí ni ṣẹ́ngẹ̀t ó lè jẹ́ ní olúwo fáyẹn gangan ní àdìtú ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn wà ṣẹ́ngẹ̀t àárín yẹn níjọ́ kan wọ́n rọ́fà létí mi mo wá ń béèrè lọ́wọ́ olúwẹ̀ pé ta ni ẹlẹ́rìí nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ sọ́run mìlá yẹn olúwẹ̀ dẹ̀ ń wò kí wáyé pé kínní àwọn ìrẹ́njìlá á dìkó pé odò ni so àwọn kínní yẹn a máa sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn jọ mí so àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn kẹnu gan so díẹ̀ láàkọ̀ máa mú sílẹ̀ so that àwọn èèyàn á lè yí àwọn èèyàn bó ṣe yẹ kó yé wọn. bẹ́ẹ̀ ni.
ẹ ṣeun bá mi.
ẹ ṣeun thank you very much.
Ẹ ṣeun ìyá wa take a makeover any last words anything tẹ́ bá fẹ́ ask or tẹ́ fẹ́ add ká tó palẹ̀ mọ́ ẹ ṣeun ìyá wa.
Gbogbo tatisọ́nà ló wà òkè kò sí nǹkan tí mo tún fẹ́ hard sí tó bá di ọ̀la a máa sọ lórí àtúnwá yẹn ìyẹn náà ni mo wà yíga láti túmọ̀ fọ́dà and lórí eléyìí tí a ti sọ lórí tí ìpọ̀n rí orí inú àti kíni ó ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ yé mi dáadáa ni ìmọ̀ yóò ní dọ̀bà ò lágbára Ọlọ́run tí yóò yéèyàn tẹ́lẹ̀ tí yóò ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ tó mọ̀ sínsìnyí in fact nígbà ṣe ń give lecture yẹn I have a full 3 notes tí mo really jot down níbí báyìí tó yẹ pé in fact it's something that I can relate ṣe pé mi náà lè jókòó tì kí n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní kà kí n máa fi jẹ́ kí àwọn èèyàn náà tún mọ̀ bí a ṣe jẹ́ irú ẹ̀yà tí Ọlọ́run ṣẹ̀dá wa you know.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
When you are talking about the bí our self being bá ṣe wá nínú ara wa pé kì í ṣe pé ara wa yìí àwa la ní permanently à ń lo ara yẹn ìṣẹ̀mí yẹn ń lo ara yẹn ni and when there is no life anymore we are going to drop the body the soul is not there ó máa wà níbi kan ní tó yẹ kó máa wá padà wá bóyá dáa kó padà wá nínú ara míì tàbí kó padà wá nínú ara yẹn nígbà táwọn ọmọ kékeré bá ń wá yẹn bí àwọn tó jẹ́ àbíkú
bẹ́ẹ̀ ni
àwọn àgbàlagbà nígbà tó bá yẹ kó wọ́n ti lọ wọ́n lè padà wá ní inú ara míì tó máa jẹ́ another fresh body
bẹ́ẹ̀ni
tó jẹ́ pé ẹnìkan ò tí ì lo ara yẹn rí ó lè jẹ́ ara tí ẹlòmíì náà ti lò rí ni ló máa tún padà wá sí ṣùgbọ́n ṣe ìpá àwọn tó jọ lògbà nígbà yẹn wọ́n lè má sí bẹ́ẹ̀ mọ́ púpọ̀ ni wọ́n lè má rí ara yẹn mú bẹ́ẹ̀ mi ṣe ń rò nínú èrò ọkàn mi nìyẹn.
Ó make sense man.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ làwọn ẹlòmíì ṣe máa ń rí ara wọn tó máa ní ẹni yìí jọ ẹnìkan táwọn ti rí nígbà kan lórí mo rí kankan òye kan wá sórí mi tí mọ́mì mi sọ fún mi pé ọmọ tó tẹ̀lé mi wáyé láti skul yìí ó jọ ọ̀rẹ́ àwọn kan ọ̀rẹ́ àwọn yẹn dẹ̀ ti kú nígbà táwọn wà ní secondary school wọ́n ní wọn ò yàtọ̀ sí ara wọn rárá bó ṣe rí ní ṣé rábí pẹ́ nìyẹn làwọn rí yìí ìgbà ẹni bẹ́ẹ̀ wà ní secondary school wọ́n lórí àwọn ẹ̀dẹ̀ ti kú nígbà táwọn wà ní secondary school náà ẹni ẹ̀dẹ̀ jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ tèmi ní class tó tẹ̀lé mi wá sílé bó ṣe rí báyìí ẹ̀rù bá wọn lóhùn gangan ní sẹ́ wọ́n ní bó ṣe rí ni kò yàtọ̀ wọ́n láti máa bí léèrè pọ́ ọmọ ọbọ ni sọ́mọlé ṣàní ó ní rárá pé bàdàn lòun ṣẹ̀ mọ̀ ìyẹn ló yẹ kí wọ́n rántí bí ara ṣe máa ń padà bí spirit ṣe ẹ̀mí ṣe máa ń gbé àwọ̀ wọ̀ àbí nàìjíríà àwọ̀ ẹlòmíì náà tó ti lọ rí tẹ́lẹ̀ àwọ̀ yẹn tún padà jáde nínú ẹ̀mí ìṣẹ̀mí míì ó tún lè lo àwọ̀ yẹn mo rò lórí mi ni olórí nǹkan tí mò ń tra láti máa wò pẹ̀lú gbogbo bí a ṣe ń lọ bá a ṣe ń padà yìí ẹ wo ó kẹnu gan.
ó kẹnu but it's a, for me ó jẹ́ nǹkan tó jẹ́ pé kò ń ṣe pé ó máa ń kàn mí láyà àgbà tèmi náà ẹ mọ̀ kémi kan tún take notes lálẹ́ yìí kí bá fi lè mọ̀ kémi náà kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ni èmi náà ń take notes èmi náà tún mú àwọn question nǹkan tí mo ti lọ mú bá àwọn babaláwo wa tó bá ti dórí ìkànnì láàárọ̀ ọ̀la èmi náà ń kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ni kò sẹ́ni tó mọ̀ tán bàbá mi.
Because this one is talking about the genetic competition yẹn no lágbára.
ẹni pé yẹn náà make sense èmi dẹ̀
make sense yeah.
On the fly ni mo create yẹn èmi náà fi yẹn illustrate nǹkan tí mo ń try láti sọ the last time tí mo present àtúnwá yẹn kó bá fi lè yé wa sí náà ni ẹ ṣeun ìyá wa ẹ ṣeun o ẹ pẹ́ fún wa o ẹ gbó ẹ tọ́ ẹ tẹlẹpẹ lágbára Èdùmàrè.
àṣẹ Èdùmàrè ẹ ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ló ń fẹ́
ẹ ṣeun gan bàbá mi orí ẹ sọ pé ẹ ní nǹkan kan tó fẹ́ sáré.
mi kò fẹ́ sọ fún yín lẹ́ǹkan ni pé mi sọ pé kẹ nínú slide yẹn tẹ́ bá ti lè also add wípé the separation between the body and the spirit and soul and whatever you do you make it distinctive and you make people realize that all along this so-called spirit or soul has always spoken to them. That subtle voice is your inner self. That is your soul. It's always been with you all along, but because the world told you that you are your body, it's made you forgotten that that your conscience is you. That's your essence. So they establish it. It makes Omar Bersini Jeka when you're Rusi, you understand? It's just like Timothy saw this whole concept of when you realize that when there are two things they normally do in our movies here. To come out funny and it's very subliminal. I'm sorry, quick so that we will man low. Because Abeomi is just another word. It's just another big but big but being and synonymous with Tobafe being over one in Agbami. Yeah, about one Agbami Lumawa. Agbami, you know. That thing about fellows, you see that they wear space. What's it called life jacket. That is how it is. When you are going to a new world, you have to go with a jacket. The same way when they tell you they are going to space. Oh, no space, you're coming with me, no, but yes, a discussion for another day. The point I'm trying to make is that when you are coming from one world, which is your own, to another world, which is Liaye, you need a body. So stop identifying as your body. Try to know yourself.
Exactly.
So, that is just where the little people call for. So once you start waking people up to this so-called self, there is a construct in psychology which is called the I, the self, and the you. All are very, very technically different, but Olofagon, I'm a cover because any concept in Yoruba which is Emi, Ati Emi. I'm a cover concept at some point. So, okay, no go.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni o ìyẹn tún lọ fún àgànbọ tó tọ́ nìkan tẹ́ sọ kí ni calculation tí mo ṣe kí ni formula tí mo make up yẹn that's essentially why I done it mo fẹ́ jẹ́ káwọn èèyàn mọ̀ pé body suit wọn ni o kò ń ṣàwọn o ṣó ti yẹ yín body suit wọn ni kò ń ṣàwọn but ọ̀kan tí màá ṣe nísìn pé màá kàn sáré mú image kan màá fi sórí ibẹ̀ yẹn so that tá a bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ a máa rán wa létí màá lè emphasize lórí ẹ̀ ṣó ti yẹ yín sir. But nǹkan tẹ́sán yẹn mo agree pátápátá ni mo agree pẹ̀lú pa ọ̀dà kí image yìí dẹ̀ wá dáa tó yẹ pé ó tún wá jẹ́ different colours ni ó tún wá jẹ́ different colours so màá kàn gbé image yẹn sórí kinní yẹn.
ẹ ṣeun gbogbo lé.
bàbá orí kí ni ẹ try láti sọ nípa body suit tí wọ́n lò nínú space yẹn tẹ́ ní ara wọn ni get bẹ́ẹ̀.
Okay, nǹkan tí wọ́n try to establish is ibi tẹ́ bá ti ń lọ sí anywhere tó wà foreign to where you've always existed bóyá yálà inú omi ni àbí this so-called kágbàgbé space wà. The point is that you cannot go with yourself gangan èèyàn lè fi ara yìí lọ síbẹ̀ èèyàn máa need nǹkan kan tí èèyàn máa fi survive ní environment yẹn.
bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
The same concept ló apply sílé ayé. Tá bá ń bọ̀ nílé ayé, ara yẹn akọ̀ máa ń gbé wọ ni. Ṣé ti yé yín bẹ́ẹ̀ yá mi?
bí ayé lẹ́yìn ara yẹn ti wúlò fún wa.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni bí báyìí nìkan lára ti wúlò.
àwọn tó wá wọnú omi tí wọ́n ń wẹ̀ nínú omi tí wọ́n dẹ̀ lè jáde tí wọ́n live nínú.
Àwọn náà gbọ́dọ̀ wọ̀ nǹkan kan sára láti lè ẹ máa notice pé wọ́n máa gbé oxygen tank tó bá ti tásìkò tó oxygen tank ẹ bá ti fẹ́ tán wọ́n á tún jáde. Get ẹ̀sìn. So wọ́n máa ń fi àwọn kìnìyàn ó wà subliminal gan àìmọye